day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you. I'm really excited for you. Why? Because we are early adopters in this new asset class that is the digital asset space. You and I, my friends, we're playing a game that 99.99% of the masses don't even know is being played. And we are winning. Interesting stuff today. Interesting stuff. I'm going to check out a video. I haven't watched it yet, but apparently my guy, Alessia Rastani, is going to go over another TA guy who's been kind of running around doing his thing on this call for Bitcoin to 12,000. So we're going to look into that. We're going to look into that and see what is all good there. Interesting stuff. Garrett's been right about a lot of stuff. And Alessia Rastani, my guy, is saying, maybe not so soon. We'll see. We'll get into that as well. Listen, the market is doing what the market does. I'll share that video later with you guys. Where is Bill Hinman? Anyone know? So apparently the SEC cannot deny. The SEC can neither confirm nor deny that William Hinman is William Hinman. Oh my goodness. Unfreaking believable. Unfreaking believable, guys. All right, listen, guys. This is your XRP Ripple daily news. And around 0 to 10 minutes. So let's do it. Look, the Bitcoin dominance is at 42.6%. Yeah, that's not a great number. The total cryptocurrency market cap is at 1.32 trillion. It's up over 1.3% on a 24-hour, which means we're still not at 3 trillion like we were. Yeah, not exciting. Bitcoin's at $29,565 again. Ethereum is at $1,980 again. XRP is at 41.6 cents again. Goodness gracious, the market is just doing what the freaking market does. There's no sense in going over these numbers, guys. The market is doing what the market does. Really, no need in doing it. Until we get back to 3 trillion, I mean, what does it really matter, right? If we will get back to 3 trillion this year, is, to me, it's feeling more and more unlikely. We'll see. Third week in July, end of July, we'll see if it begins to do something then. All right, so this is very interesting. Leader the second said, there is so much damning evidence against the SEC that you have to pick and choose which piece of evidence to retweet. John Deaton lays this out, and I just think, what is going on with the U freaking S of A? Like, they're the international communities. They feel sorry for the U.S. community in terms of digital asset space. They're like, so sorry. Oh man, XRP Crypto will put this out. Lawsuit. SEC can't confirm if the video of Bill Hinman is actually Bill Hinman. What the freak is going on? Think about the SEC, says John Deaton. It claims Bitcoin and Ethereum are so vague and ambiguous as to prevent the SEC from distinguishing them from other digital assets. The SEC is also unable to admit whether a video of Hinman is in fact Hinman. It's just a brutal thing. Greenwood Holding Company says, has anyone seen Bill Hinman? Gary Gensler and the SEC cannot identify or confirm his existence. Bill Hinman's history, 2017 to 2018, meets with A16 Andreessen Horowitz Company and consensus in reference to Ethereum. The Ethereum network and its decentralized structure of current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions that quote unquote from June 14th of 2018. In 2017 to 2020, he collected $15 million from Simpson Thacher. In 2020, he unretires from Simpson Thacher and is named the senior advisor to a new $2 billion crypto fund at that same Andreessen Horowitz, A16 Zulu. That is the game that they played on this space. That is the game that they play. And I hope people will never, ever, ever, ever forget it. It's so important that we never, ever forget it. So let's remind ourselves of what the bigger picture here is. Gold Telegraph put this out. Breaking news. SWIFT to test central bank digital currencies for international transfers, right? We are testing how SWIFT can interlink the multiple domestic-based CBDC networks emerging worldwide to make cross-border payments with CBDCs more seamless and frictionless. Like CBDCs are not for the retail person. They're going to try to do some stuff, but it's not for you and I. The idea of, the whole interlinking thing and anything with CBDCs, in my opinion, is not great for the retail investor. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen though. So Stuart already laid this out, and it's just, you got to just think about the SEC and just the hypocrisy, right? So the SEC in-house trials declared unconstitutional. Unconstitutional. And this is what the judge said. Get this, the SEC argued that jury trials are too slow, but then turned around and put a defendant through their private grist mill for 7 years, 7 freaking years. The hypocrisy is stagger freaking ring. Yeah. The SEC brought an enforcement action within the agency against petitioners for securities fraud. An SEC administrative law judge adjudged petitioners liable and ordered various remedies, and the SEC affirmed on appeal over several constitutional arguments that petitioners asked. Petitioners raised those same arguments before this court. We hold that the SEC's in-house adjudication of petitioner's case violated the 7th Amendment right to a jury trial. The SEC just did this in-house thing on their freaking own. Congress unconstitutionally delegated legislative power, to the SEC by failing to provide an intelligible principle by which the SEC would exercise the delegated power in violation of Articles 1's vesting of all legislative power in Congress and statutory removal restrictions on all SEC-AO, violate the take care clause of Article 2. Because the agency proceedings below were unconstitutional, we grant the petition for review, vacate the decision of the SEC, and remand for further proceedings consistent with this opinion. So the SEC got the hammer laid down on them. It's a sad thing. Stuart already, by the way, is right. He's general counsel for Ripple, but it's a sad, sad day. It's just what's going on over there. And the fact that Congress is not doing anything is disgusting. Celsius staking will be available this summer for the non-accredited U.S. investors on tokens that are stakeable in the crypto world. You can put them on Celsius if you so choose and earn rewards for staking rewards there. I think this is important to pay attention to in the bigger picture. China is in talks with Russia, according to the Cointelegraph, according to Gold Telegraph, to buy oil for its strategic reserves. China's crude oil imports from Saudi Arabia soared 38% in April. OPEC has stopped using data from the International Energy Agency. China and Russia continue to focus on building independent trading nations. Independent of who? The U-freaking-S of A. Now, again, I want to share this because this is the big deal on the streets right now. Graham Bright at EuroXM Bank. Again, I thought this was an older video, but it is not. But take a listen to Layla, and she says there's rumor about digital assets taking over SWIFT. Listen to this.
Preeminent messaging system for the financial.
There's a discussion surrounding crypto replacing SWIFT. So we did speak earlier where you mentioned that it's not necessarily about replacing SWIFT, it's about complementing it. So let's get some more information on this.
Okay. I used to work for SWIFT. I was SWIFT for 20 years, so SWIFT is flowing through my veins. SWIFT is the preeminent messaging system for the financial industry, which covers, say, payments, FX, trade, in terms of securities, etc., Nostra reconciliations, etc. What we're looking with crypto, though, is where SWIFT would have a store and forward system for most of its payment transactions, where you need service level agreements that in a certain time I will do something, but payment turns up at a certain time during the day. Here we're looking at the new network styles, which allow instant, real-time movement to the funds and visibility of those funds as well. So we would not have a situation where banks need to come back to you and say, have my funds arrived? It's 3 days later. I need to find out or find query messages moving around the network. There's nothing like that. I don't believe Ripple is going to replace SWIFT. Ripple is one of the complementary networks which is going to allow those institutions who need real time to make use of that. And I think we're also seeing that SWIFT are changing their network capability so that real time will be a possibility as well. But we may also see RippleXRP moving across the SWIFT network as a currency when we're perhaps using something like FX.
Yeah, and he's mentioned the FX part before. Watch Layla here. Watch her after she hears this. Watch her. It's very interesting.
Now, so, I just slightly moving on for a second, because there's a discussion surrounding crypto replacing.
Just slightly moving on. Just slightly moving on first. What? She was not expecting to hear that answer. I think she was expecting him to say something because she knows she's in the space. She knows that what Ripple, the company RippleNet is, ODL is, XRP is, and I think she was expecting a different answer. I'm sure she was expecting a different answer, right? You could tell she was saying she thought he was going to say something along the line. Oh no. Swift is here to say, digital assets are great and awesome, but Swift is here to say there isn't a crypto that's going to take over Swift network. That's what it feels like she was expecting him to say. And RippleXRP said it, kind of confirms it, right? He says, wow, Swift is slowly telling you they're going to use XRP. I wasn't Swift, right? He's from Euromax Bank. But he was at Swift for 20 years. Did anyone notice how fast Layla tried to change the subject? You can see it in her face. She was not expecting that answer. But the reality of the situation is, look, it's happening. There are going to be a lot of players in this space, but it is happening for sure. In terms of Ripple is far, they're just far and beyond ahead of everyone else. I find it interesting where Margine Delatine moved on to. I think that's very, very interesting. She moved on to this place here. It's called SETL. It's very, very interesting to me. She is now there at this place here, SETL.io. And I just think it's important to understand that the cross-border space is a big space, and not one participant is going to own all of it. Very, 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 very important. Margine Delatine, head of payments at this particular place. Yeah, it's the same Margine Delatine. Okay, that was at Ripple. Global head of banking at Ripple. And now she's the managing director of this place here called Payments. It's interesting to see how people kind of move around and do different things. Again, for me, the bigger picture here is that the cross-border space is a big one in the trillions of dollars, and not one entity is going to rule it all. And I think that's important to say there. Someone said, I don't know, kind of interesting comment about BK. I'm not going to cover that, but yeah, that's the, for me, that's it. Yeah, it's not going to be just one thing. Ripple was going to own a big, significant, is going to be a huge player, probably the #1 player, but it's a big space. The pie is massive, right? So there'll be other players. There'll be, XLM and the Stellar Foundation is going to do what they're going to do. Obviously, XRP with this decentralized exchange built in already is going to do what it's going to do. But this notion of one is going to be it, and that's going to be it, just doesn't make sense, right? For every Google, there's a Yahoo. For every McDonald's, there is a Burger King. That is the way of the world. That's not just only McDonald's, and it is not just only Google. Tom Emmer said something here I think that's interesting. And look, I'm not a fan of 401ks. I'm not a fan of self-directed IRAs. I'm not a fan of Roth IRAs. I'm not a fan of any qualifying plan. I think that they put them together to take advantage of your money. I think that anything that limits your participation in something that's supposed to be a good thing is not a great thing, right? If it's so good, why are you limiting how much I can participate? I want to be able to put my money where I want to put it and be able to put as much into it as I want to put into it. And like Tim Draper says, why do we need some agency entity to determine how much I can do and what I can do and how I can do it? It's my money. If I take an L, let me take that L. I don't need your oversight. And this whole IRA thing, yeah, not my thing. I think that it's just allows for the powers to be, which is Wall Street, to gamble with your money. Not a great thing. All right, guys, listen, I am going to end this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I are already winning. Have a great rest of the day, guys. I'll talk to you soon. See ya.